Everybody, how you going? Today I'm going to start to talk a little bit about my journey. So my journey started in about June last year when I realised that I'd felt like I'd, for want of a better word, lost myself amongst the craziness of the last 4 or 5 years while starting our family. So this is one more for probably the mums out there, and you'll probably all relate to this, or most of you. So as mothers, we put everything into raising our children, and it never really stops. It's 24/7 gig. I didn't really know what I was getting myself in for when we started our family, but that's what it is. I don't know what I was expecting, but anyway, so we put everyone else before ourselves and we end up coming last. It's just kind of how motherhood goes, I guess. And then when you run out of energy or steam or time in your day, guess who misses out? You. So you never get around to doing anything like what you wanted to do that day, or in fact, day in and day out. And it just sort of compounds. The more women, especially I've spoken to, can relate to this as well. So it is very, very common. I didn't necessarily feel like I had any huge problems that I needed to sort out, but I did feel like something was missing. I felt a bit flat, had no real direction in my life, needed to find out what I actually really wanted. Don't get me wrong, it's a bit of a cliche. I wouldn't change anything at all. Having kids, etc. My little family is amazing, but as mothers, we're important too, and we need to realise that. If we're unhappy, tired, stressed, all that sort of stuff, it flows through and we take it out on everybody else that we love, our kids, our husbands, our partners, our friends, etc. Not intentionally, obviously, but that's just kind of the way it is. I also happened to be interviewing for a travel consultant not long after I realised this, and this also came up again. So all the people that I interviewed were women who applied for the job, and most were mothers whose children were becoming more independent and sort of leaving home, or getting more independent themselves and didn't need mum quite so much. And so they felt like it was time for a change. They didn't necessarily have any experience in the industry, but they had life experience and they had travel experience on their side, which are important when you're looking into finding a new career. Something that society puts so much pressure on us for as well, a career. Turns out it was a very unfortunate time to try and join the travel industry, but this reaffirmed what I was thinking at the time, that we do lose ourselves. It's very common. We don't know who we are and want to have something for ourselves, I guess. So being aware of this and realizing it's okay and common is important. The good news is that with a bit of work on yourself, even just a few small steps, it's possible to change this. A lot of it is mindset, and actually, putting into our daily lives the fact that we are important. You don't have to have all the answers to begin with. Just being aware and taking the first step means that you'll see opportunities start to open up, so things that may have been there all along that you haven't realized. This also doesn't mean that you need to start going out and spending huge amounts of money on yourself or anything like that. It may start with something simple like putting up your feet for half an hour and allowing yourself that time to have a coffee and watch your favorite program on demand, or have a shower or a bath in peace when the kids are at daycare or school or whatever. Read a book for half an hour. Even just like go for a walk when your kids are at school or daycare, or when your partner or husband comes home from work, etc. You actually deserve your own sanity time as well, and this is really important. And like I said, it flows through. If you're happy, then everybody else is potentially more happy as well. So next week I'll start to share with you how I began to work through the process of finding myself again. So that's just a little start of my journey. Oh, and my flyers and business cards arrived today, so they're looking really cool and I'm really happy with them. They were supposed to be here in time for the Love and Labour event, but they too got caught up and delayed with COVID. But I'm really happy with how they turned out, and that's pretty exciting as well. So thanks very much for your time today, and I'll catch up with you again next week. Thank you. Bye.